Welcome back to some professional StarCraft, the finals of Masters Coliseum 2018, or Masters Coliseum number 4. Either way, hosted by Wardy, and our final, like, it wasn't a small tournament. Some of the biggest names: Maru, TY, Zest, SOS, Deer. But who do we find in the grand final best of 7 match? But in the top left, he's lost more GSL finals than anyone else has been a part of. Let me lose this too. It's soO. In the bottom right, it is the big boy. It's Party. One of those Protosses, there's been a handful over the years. Like, well, players usually have a specialization. Nice little slip by there by soO to get his expansion. Especially Protoss players, but there are shield tosses. Players who will play defensive, get a lot of workers, stuff like that.
Good. Now I have your attention.
And then there are Protoss players. Well, I guess players of all races, but especially Protoss, whose specialty doesn't seem to necessarily be micro or macro, but instead winning. You might be like, well, that's just silly. I'm gonna go ahead and reference MC as the original, the boss toss. SOS, winning when it always counts.
Thanks for
Hundreds of thousands of dollars. And Parting, of course, has had his share over the years. They'll do builds, they'll do styles that really shouldn't work on paper. It's like, well, I know how to defend that. Plenty of players know how to shut that down, but they win. There's not much more to it. Sheer willpower sometimes, it seems like. But it is the finals with, I'm going to say $5 million on the line. I think that I might be a little bit off by $0 to $5 million. But best of 7 means we have a potential to play every single map in the pool. I'm not sure how the map picking system works, but Parting going to shut down these early links. So finally things are happening. I can't go full Tastosis and not talk about the game when there are Zerglings in the base for 4 or 5 minutes. But my favorite X-Man is Star-Lord. Okay, who's yours?
Oh my god, it's so funny.
No, not really that funny. I didn't have a follow-up. Sometimes I start my sentences, I don't know where they're going to end up. But has soO started his build without knowing where it will end up? I doubt it. I seriously doubt it. This isn't the Platinum League. He's got Zergling speed on the way to follow it up. A single Overlord at the front. So this is a little bit of a stylistic choice. Some players will send, well, since soO isn't going for Overlord speed, and he doesn't have a second OV to scout, he's relying on limiting Parting's options. Constantly scouting the front. Well, one way to constantly scout the front is to just walk Zerglings into his base. Okay, so that works too. That's one way to do it. He'll see a robotics facility, a Twilight Council. He can't know for sure this isn't going to be like an Archon timing. In fact, I think a Templar Archives is about to find itself added on. But this becomes kind of an awkward situation. Parting did not want that to just kind of be scouted. I'm not entirely sure why it was. That was weird. So what's the follow-up? Are we going to see it? He has 350 gas in the bank. There are no gas geysers at the net, but it looks like this is just going to be a big timing. Is there not going to be is he going to warp in sentries and try to use force fields on the ramp? I'm struggling to figure out what Parting's going to do. We're just going to let it play out. A Roach Warren is on the way. The customary Warp Prism will be scouted out. A second Warp Prism going to follow it up. A Ling will chase it. It seems like a weird fake out to just not build a Templar Archives even though you have the gas. That's what's throwing me off here. So what you do, you mine a bunch of gas, you bank it up, and then you trade it in. Like this is, I don't know, the auction house or something. What if you could, though? No time for thinking about that. Two drones gonna go down. soO up to 50. Yeah, he has roach speed on the way. No evolution chambers, but he's quite comfortable against this. As long as he's able to defend another warp in towards the main. Parting getting slammed on both sides. Like, there is... Oh, there are 4 sentries in the main base. So I was hyping up Parting. His specialty is winning, and this has to be one of those times. Because right now, Parting does not have good tech. His economy is bad. Everything's been scouted. soO should have all the tools that he needs to completely shut this down. He's got plenty of roaches with speed. He's got a healthy economy. Well, he's about to have speed in a moment. He's got creep spread and overlord spread. Parting has 7 sentries. Now, Parting, the creator, historically, of the Soul Train build. In Heart of the Swarm, before the Ravager existed, when economies were lower, he would do a Warp Prism Immortal Sentry timing attack. That seemed to be deadly, but only he could really make it so effective. Other players would do it and it would work, but somehow Partings were always just a significantly higher win rate. And when asked in a very extensive interview, and by that I mean one question, why does this build work so well for you? Because I put so much soul into it. That was his response. So it looks like Parting still on the soul train. He's actually just going to do it. This is the same build that he was using years ago. I mean, there are little details like the Warp Prism harass, but a bunch of sentries, immortals, and charge bots. Well, maybe some blank stalkers were more common before, but soO has double the army supply right now. Parting with a decent enough worker count. He's got a handful of zealots going towards the main. That's a lot of force field. This Ravager almost taking the wrong path. He's going to need... He's going to need a huge warp in of zealots. Going to drag a lot of the roaches back into the main. But the train has left the station. One queen going to be run over on the tracks. A single Ravager is not enough. He locks in some roaches and the only Ravager. More sentries at the back. The next wave comes through. Immortals bashing through the front. The reinforcements coming down. He still has one more wave of force fields. The Immortals are holding the line. Some more Ravagers can be used to break those force fields. How much more energy is there? I think there's just simply too much. The Soul Train was a little late. The Immortals will escape, but nothing else will. Wait, a drop at the back. soO down to 50 drones or so. The Immortal juggling is ridiculous, and there's really no way to kill him if he's on top of it. A massive warp into the main. Parting swings right back. There's not that many units here. The Zealots have +1 now. Parting juggling back on the other side. We're at the circus at the moment, one way or another. The Immortal's still stuck. He's going to juggle. He's got 3. He's trying to hold the line. How many kills? 6 kills, 3 kills, 15 kills. There's not that many roaches and Ravagers. Parting still trying to warp in the main. It looks like the Warp Prism may be taken out. No, that Corrosive Bile was off-center. He's now got 4 Immortals. Wait, what? 16 drones die. soO is down to 39 workers, and Parting is chasing him with the Warp Prisms. All aboard! I spoke far too soon. So, the build that made no sense has now this much closer to making Parting very many sense if he wins this tournament. It's not over yet. soO still has a large army. He's got Ravagers, Roaches, and Lings. But the brute force and the threat of the double prism is very... Wait, how many prisms are on the field? There are 2 prisms, okay. Parting has a better economy. And much like Has or many YOLO tosses, taking gases 3 and 4 is admission of defeat. Okay? Never take any more than your first 2 gas if you have any self-respect. At least not until you're well into 4 bases. So Parting, he's just spamming Zealots. He's gonna have +2 attack. Yeah, the Soul Train just had to build up some steam. I'm sorry, I forgot. It is one of those builds that seems like it's not gonna work right up until it does. Sounds dumb, but best way to describe it. soO has a huge army. He's kind of gambled that Parting's going to attack again, because he's sat back so long, but he hasn't built any more drones. He's just built army. And that is the only way he can maybe deal with Parting's army. Parting may have thought he went for drones, something along those lines. Some corrosive bows are thrown out. The force field's going to try to lock things in. +2 attack is done for the Protoss army. Half a dozen immortals under. Oh, beautiful force fields! He's going to try to break him with corrosive bow, but the damage is already done. He's got another wave. He locks the Ravagers in, knocks it out. The Zealots in a weird choke point here. He's going to try to break the force fields. Backs it off. Another round of Zealots, and the supply tilts back in the Protoss direction. Another wave slices up the army. Corrosive bow is being used on force field for units that are already dead in front of him. He's got a little more energy, maybe one more force field? No, doesn't need it. Just enough. Parting slices through. I spoke far too soon. I apologize. And the build, the Soul Train, continues well into 2019. He does specialize in winning. I said I didn't trust myself. I said it. It wasn't just a BS teleprompter talking point or something like, we're gonna talk. No. It's true. Sounds dumb, but it's true. Game number 2 is gonna be on Parasite. Now, soO, I feel like part of the reason that was so effective is that soO was like, where's the Archon drop? Where's the Archon drop? Where's the Archon drop? Where's the Archon drop? The Archon drop never came. How did Parting lose to me? Because he played Terran. Classic mistake. Speaking of, we're back in the action. Game number 2 on Parasite. Sorry, Thunderfly. I'll see you next time. No idea. But can soO bring it back? Losing games to things like that is not fun. Well, losing games is not fun. soO's used to it, but it is not fun. But especially when you're up against a player who's on top of their force fields, it almost feels like there's just nothing to be done. Obviously, a lot of different things could have happened. Maybe if he had committed more to Ling Bane instead of going for roaches, but that is the kind of game that can tilt a player maybe out of their chair. Oh my god. Speaking of strategies to get to tilt players out of their chairs,
I have your attention.
There's a gateway, a forge, and 2 probes. Wait, where are you going? Where are you going? Just looking for a proxy hatch. Parting is cannon rushing. So what dirty angles can you actually put these down? A drone is already coming down. Parting has the resources. He's looking to see what kind of commitment there is. Blocks the drone. Blocks another one. Wait, can he pop the probe out with the gas trick? He does have a forge done, but this is a big investment. The drones work. Oh, he blocks with the cannon. Oh, disgusting. He cancels. Oh, oh, some disgusting Protoss. The nimble navigation of the probes. He gets vision on the high ground. And he gets the probe out. Oh. Oh, you dirty Protoss. And he's got a cannon on the high ground. soO committed drones to stop this. Like, if you're gonna commit the drones, you need to stop, at least slow this down. Oh my god. There's already a cyber core on the way and a hard wall at Parting's base. There's no drones out on the map. Probe's adding that serious DPS. So, it's not the end of the game for soO. Oh my god, he can't even take his second gas, though. Because the cannons are in range of it. Oh, you can't even really get Ravagers. He's even going for the rock. Like, I don't even know. I guess he could use that to build things. Just doesn't want to accidentally click it. soO spends all his gas on Ravagers, but there's a cannon at the back. Parting doesn't have the gas quite yet for like, Now, the cannons were close enough together. soO can eventually chip through this. And the Stalker shows up. I mean, the shield batteries heal faster than Ravagers do. Oh my. Trying to dodge those hits. More corrosive biles. He's almost out of energy on the batteries, but he's got more on the low ground. Parting. Gets one shield battery, but it costs him the spine. Oh my god. The cannons are hitting the queen! One Ravager falls. Oh, he could kill the... Aw. One of the most decisive and quick-moving cannon battery rushes I have seen. And this is after the nerf to the shield battery. It has 50 less HP and shields. But this was such a clean execution. The probes all lived. There were no buildings that were canceled that were needed to be part of the rush. He's now killing drones. It's over. Just a nice, quick TKO. Oh, parting. Oh, parting. You are why people hate Protoss. And he knows it too. He knows it. He's gonna go up to a quick 2-0. There's a lot of games from here. Okay. Well, 2 to 5. soO's been down in finals before. The Masters Coliseum heating up, and Parting comes out with the first dramatic blows. What's the next map? It's going to be suspense. No, that's not a name of a map. It's gonna Port Alexander. Port Alexander. that was some of the cleanest. Like, that was way cleaner than any game I've seen Has play. There's always some back and forth, some struggle. Parting's like, nope, cannon, cannon, battery, pylon, gate, cannon. Alright, we're back, we're back. That wasn't the build order, I just named random Protoss buildings. Anyways, in game number 3 of the Masters Coliseum, originally hosted by Wardy and various casters of every language. I'm here enjoying the fruits of their labor. And of course the players. On the bottom right is Parting. Top left is soO. You guys can read, right? Well, now that I say it. Anyways. A gateway, no forge, but with the dirty battery build, the forge actually comes after the gate, but he's adding on an assimilator, so no forge is coming up after. soO has had enough of this. He's built to pull first. He's gonna try to dodge. I love that. But Parting too nimble, too quick. I love the mech drone.
Good. Now I have your attention.
I love Blizzard. Like, how do we make people like Zerg skins? Okay, the Zergs have definitely had, like, in the previous war chests, the Zerg skins have either been underwhelming or over dramatic, like the spike skins and stuff like that. We got it. We make them look like Terrans. Everybody loves Terrans. And then we'll make their buildings look like Terrans. And good to go. We'll sell billions. A Zergling finds the probe in the corner. Taking it out.
First blood.
So this time, Parting not really able. Well, did he scout the gas? Yeah. He knows there's a threat of speedlings, but not particularly quick. If you're soO, well, soO, all these players play hours upon hours a day. Parting sometimes way too many hours a day. Like, he streams for like 15, 16 hours. And I don't think he's sober for any of it sometimes. But, like the drunken brawler he is, up 2-0 against soO in this best-of-7 finals. And Def finds it in the main. The speedlings will come out. He should kill the adept. Yeah, gets it. Picked off a single drone. The fact he saw more drones producing is important. Did Parting see the third? He didn't, but he saw more drones producing, being rallied down. That already indicates that soO's not going for like a big baneling bust or something along those lines. It's going to be a DT Archon drop. One thing you don't usually do or have when you go for this build out of soO, like the delayed expansion, pull first, but also with Zergling speed, is either Overlord speed or a second OV across the map to scout. So this could be an entire surprise. Now, Parting hasn't added on. Is he just going to stick with his no third and fourth gas style? No, he's mixing it back up. Because technically you have just enough for 4 DTs, and then potentially making them an Archon. A lair is on the way. The way that if soO doesn't start his Spore Crawlers very soon, the DTs could kill the third. Oh, the Warp Prism going to try to sneak out. Here's soO's vision. Oh, okay. I thought he did some magical things, but he spots the Warp Prism on the way out. The timing should give away that this is possibly DTs. Does he start a spore? Yes. Okay. And he starts in a location that he knows that's a real threat. The DTs are warping. Well, now he knows for sure. The Lings spot it. At this point, I feel like Parting should probably just go straight into Archons. There's no way he kills the spore, right? Right. I mean, DTs do pretty good damage themselves. He's gonna juggle. He can't lose a single DT if he wants. What is happening? What's going on? No, he saves them all. But wait. But wait. Parting. That was way too risky. I don't. What did he even? He killed like a roach and 4 lings and damaged the queen. That was way. Now, never say Parting isn't a gambler. He's definitely a gambler. The roaches will block this out. Behind it, Parting is mining additional gas. He's building Immortals. Brought the Observer to follow up and clear the creep. The natural progression, because right now, soO is essentially pinned. He's stuck in his base, and if he moves out with a significant amount of units, Parting is liable to warp in a bunch in his main. So the roaches have to stay home at least until roach speed. Unless these warp prisms, and ideally with the Archons in them, are killed, in which case that's pretty close to losing the game for Parting. soO sneaking a few more drones in. It doesn't look like he wants to just try to counterattack. Observer coming back in, trying to keep control of that creep spread. The second warp prism doesn't really have anything in it. Has he seen a Hydra den yet? At this point, the fact the roaches aren't attacking is already a giveaway. Those roaches should be attacking if he had any intent on going for a big roach speed timing. This reminds me of a Raven and Hellions in Terran vs. Zerg. Not an uncommon thing to see. Parting very much on top of that Prism Observer harass. So Parting does not have a Templar Archives. He is not getting Storm. And if it was just a roach timing, if soO was trying to kill him, that'd be fine. But it's Roach Hydra. Roach Hydra, if you get enough of it, get such a critical mass, especially if the Hydras have their range and Force Field isn't as effective. Oh, Parting stopped making probes a while ago. Parting's going to try to kill him. How many gates on the field? We got 8 gates. He's going to have +1 in just a moment. Charge has completed. A warp prism on both sides of the action. soO has a decent economy. He's been building Hydras, but the prism in the main is the kicker here. Where are the force fields? Puts out a wave. Isolates a lot of the units. The Hydras are actually behind, so it's unclear who the force fields benefit. The Hydra's definitely making things a lot more difficult than if it was just roaches. The warp prism's in the main. Not that much money to warp in so far. Juggling back. Parting's been pushed. A handful, well, actually a couple DTs in the mix. If he can get rid of detection, that can change a lot of different things. He might decide to try to warp in DTs at the front. He did just kill the... Oh, this is an awkward scenario. 1 force field. He's got 1 more. What? There's no detection in the main! He's going for the spawning pool. soO gonna press his luck. 3 DTs. Defensive Dark Templar being warped in. Loses another Archon. soO makes his way back. Hydra speed is not done. Roach speed is. The spawning pool falls. Parting making use of what tools he has. soO has been sliced down a little bit economically, but the main problem still remains that without Storm or some other comparable form of splash damage... Oh, Parting. Loses 3 DTs and loses the Prism. A quick 1-2 that puts him in a much weaker position than he had even a few moments before. It's recall time. He agrees. Really no, like, the amount of brute force... Parting just doesn't have enough brute force. He's up against a brick. This Roach Hydra with +1, Hydra range and speed. The army doesn't stack up. Force fields don't solve this problem. And with this concave, the whole Protoss army is cornered. A 270-degree or so surround. The Overseer's in the back. If he can get rid of the detection, he might have a hope of warping in DTs, but he's forced to retreat up the ramp. Where are the force fields? He gets a couple. More army coming up. Oh, those were the ones from, that was the recall there. A little awkward. Now, wait a second. What? Stop it, Parting. You stop this. You stop doing that. Stop making me look dumb. He holds the line with some incredible force fields. Parting actually has more workers. In this scenario, with soO on a mediocre economy, he does have... Parting has a hope of holding. But the force fields still have to be immaculate. The Warp Prism... I mean, how many force fields can you have? A lot. A lot of force fields. There is a Ravager in the mix for soO. But can the Immortals pump out enough damage? Parting has a 4th base on... That's very ambitious. I mean, if he lives... Some more force fields come up, he can juggle back. The corrosive vials are there. That means he can't break the force field too easy. The Immortal's trying to hold the line. 18 kills. Losing some on the right side. A couple DTs are slipping in if you look on the mini-map to the north. The Immortals trying their best, but Hydra Ling is the choice out of soO. Starting to realize that not many Archons or Storm with no splash damage. The DPS is too much. The DT's trying to sneak in, but soO's on top of it. Warp Prism knocked out of the sky. And despite a valiant attempt at defense out of Parting, soO will overwhelm him with plenty to spare. And okay, alright. If those force fields were enough, I would have been... My entire understanding of this game would have been ruined. Not that it isn't already under threat with the way Parting is playing, but... Now the question remains, will Parting make splash damage? That is not Archons. He's been managing this Immortal Archon Sentry army incredibly well, but at some point the Roach Hydra or Hydra Ling is too much, so. Next game will be on Cerulean Fall. Typically a pretty... Well, it depends. It's a solid Protoss map in the sense that it's easy to defend your natural, but there's a lot of bases to keep controlling. Gimme. Hear me. Thank you. We're back. Game number 3, Cerulean Fall. Parting showing a spread of builds. soO pretty much... soO has had a variation in openers, but... essentially boiling down to trying to safely get his bases up and then get to Roach Hydra. I mean, the Cannon Rush game ended very abruptly when all his units died, 2 cannons and stalkers, but oh wait. Oh no, don't do it, Parting! 4! But soO has had enough of that. He's gone pool first. Parting immediately cancels the Forge. There's mech noises. He's just gonna block the base for now. He can block the second base. He's gonna try to juke out the drone. soO's going with the safe pool first build again. Will Parting actually block all of the potential expansions? I wouldn't put it past him. He cancels the pylon to get that money for his own Nexus. And then restarts the forge. Okay, he did not restart the forge. I wanted it to be true. Where's this probe going? Never trust a probe. When someone asked a while back, what is the most annoying unit in StarCraft? And a lot of people are like, Mutas, or Liberators, or Dark Templar. No, the obvious answer is probe. I don't think there's another unit that has caused more strife and struggle than the probe. Singular or plural. There's a proxy Stargate. Just gonna randomly put a Stargate out there. Alright. Adept gonna come in. Queen gonna box it out. Brenda! Starcraft creep! I don't like it out here. I give it 3 out of 5 stars on Yelp. The Zerglings do gain their speed. soO has 150 gas, so does he go for a quick lair? He's trying to figure out, well, a Zergling gets by, and that's not good for parting. The lack of information is going to definitely be information in and of itself. The probes try to chase down the Ling. 1 HP, 0 fucks. Ling escapes. Oh! But it gets all the information it could ever want. soO already building a Spore Crawler. Bit of a mistake there out of parting. And the damage potential of this proxy Oracle going to be slim to none. Especially since soO looks like he's about to scout it. Yeah. You know, something. Shenanigans are afoot. The Oracle looking for damage. I don't know why I said it like that. Oh, there's no Spore. It's gonna find damage. What? Why? Nice dodge there, I see. Second queen, though, you greedy devil. just taps the hatch. Yeah, I see you. I see you. Don't think you're getting away with anything. The Stargate will be cleaned up. Twilight? Parting? You feeling it? Twilight? Maybe... Oh, a Robo! He's gonna be... Not 2. Maybe 2? I keep... Like, there's... It's been a while since I've seen people building multiple Robos at the 3rd. This is something... I think Neeb kind of pioneered this. In the year when he just kept beating everyone. Won 3 WCS finals in a row. Which was the most WCS finals in a row anyone won. Until Cyril won 4 in a row the next year. Spoilers, by the way. Double Robo. He's really banking on soO going roaches with this. There are other options, but the double Robo is a big investment. When soO sees it is very important, because if soO makes any significant amount of roaches, that is bad. That is very bad for him. Immortals take roaches. Well, Immortals counter roaches like, I don't know. Paper counters fire. Or, Fortnite skins counter the common sense of 12-year-olds. I couldn't come up with anything better. Anyways, Adept Glaives are on the way. Forge on the way as well, right alongside it. You can read. It's right there on the screen. Yeah, get out of here. The hallucinated Phoenix trying its best. I think Parting may not have noticed that was happening. He may have forgotten he doesn't have a real Phoenix. Get it out of here. Parting is now going to attack with 4 Sentries, an Oracle, 2 Adepts, and 2 Immortals. And a lot of ambition. Stasis Ward coming up. He's going to try to trigger it immediately. He will. Beautifully diffused. A Warp SMO is on the way. Oh, wait. A couple Ravagers to break force field. Parting has plenty of probes behind this. There's... Oh, nice. Oh, great force fields. Oh, my God. I feel like it's almost too obvious when I say great force fields and Parting's in the game. Oh, it loses a full energy sentry, so I take it back, maybe. Almost loses the Prism. 4 Mutalisks are on the way. There's almost nothing to stop them. The Mutas... Well, that'll work cool. Did not see that coming. I guess he lacked the revelation. The Lings are on the chase. But there's plenty of reinforcements here. If he can catch... There are enough gates that the Mutas can't just overwhelm if he's able to get Stalkers in time. But if he can't catch these units, the Mutas are going to grow. We're going to... Oh, is this a base trade? Are we base trading? Because right now, Parting's army cannot be beat on the ground. But the Mutas are about to fly into the main. And our Tosis-flavored pylon. Blink is on the way. He already had suspicions this might be what's happening. soO still has a pretty healthy drone count. We'll see how much Parting's able to cut into that. The Lings and Ravagers towards the front. This pylon! The pylon! No! Loses 5 gates of power. There's more in the main. His production could be almost entirely shut down with the single kill of another pylon. Wait, that's 2 pylons. Anyways, a base will go down. There are 5 Stalkers on the map against 14 Mutas. Parting looks like he's literally just got to try to kill all of the building. soO being very methodical with removing all options for defense. What? Okay, so we learned today that contaminating a shield battery doesn't do anything. But thank you, soO, for giving us this very important knowledge. This is happening. We've completely shifted into a Florencio game now. Parting eviscerates the main. It will be pounded down. He has way more DPS when it comes to killing buildings. The probes will be surrounded and killed. 4, 3, 2, 1 probe. Where is the final probe? Happily mining gas in the main. Forgotten. Blink is on the way. Oh, he recalls. He recalls. The corrosive bios will land, but won't do much. He knocks it out. The Adept's going to work. Still 34 drones. You gotta kill the drones. Oh, he didn't kill the last mining base. 61 probes and 32 drones die. He repowers the gateways with his warp prism. Parting finds a way. But can he warp in anywhere? Because he has barely any pylons. Has to rebuild his cyber core, which is, you know, not great. soO has been allowed to live, and even having a single mining base is well, the clock is ticking, and it's ticking very quickly. It's a very fast clock. Where there's little time on it. Whatever makes sense to you. Because right now, there are 18 Mutalisks and only 5 Stalkers and 3 sentries with which to counter them. Parting, while he now has a cyber core, he does not have enough money to build more Stalkers. soO's gonna have plenty of mining. Just building Zerglings is enough here. At this point, I wouldn't disrespect Parting for just typing 2 G's. But he has a dream. Maybe through some creative maneuvering, maybe some I don't know. The soO doesn't know it, but the Mutas could win on their own right now. He has enough Mutas. 18 Mutas, even without upgrades, counter 5 Stalkers and 3 sentries, even with Blink. But why risk it, right? Brenda has made it all the way off the creep. And she has explored the world, and now she's gonna settle down, build some more creep tumors, and start a 401k. She's seen enough. How many stalkers now for parting? Not enough. Not enough stalkers. Now, see with the bingo strats, the corners. There's no way for parting to attack both. He'll be divided and conquered if he attempts it. He's just sitting back, hoping, I guess, soO makes a mistake, but... not even picking off a single Muta. Parting is cornered. He doesn't really have much income. He's back to 19 probes from 1, so that's better than 1. A single Muta gonna scout. There are 65 Zerglings. 5 Ravagers, 4 Roaches, 3 Queens, 18 Mutalisks. The Zergling count continues to spiral upwards. There's some energy on the sentries. Oh, nope, not even that one Muta. Oh, so many! He baits out the force fields. Hold me, Langs. The force fields are incredible, but the War Prism is gone. Parting taps it out. And that's going to be 2 to 2, all evened up. Parting with a little bit of a questionable... Well, even from the start, like, letting the Zerglings in. Letting the Zerglings in was, well, even a single link, enough for soO to deflect any early damage, or most of the early damage. And then kind of carry it from there.
Now I have your attention.
He's no longer letting Parting just walk across with some sentries and immortals and try to win the game like it's 2013 all over again. But there's still at least 2 more matches to go. And next up is Stasis. The spiciest map in the map pool. Stasis is, saying it's non-standard is, well, a massive understatement. But it will decide who goes to match point. Let's find out. And for those of you who may end up watching this on any sort of platform, Facebook, Zune, YouTube. I was about to say some other things, but never mind. Moving on. Make sure to smash that like button, to ring the bell, to sacrifice your firstborn, to download from LimeWire. LimeWire, of course, as we all remember, like having unprotected sex with the internet. The good old days. First probe coming out. But what will it accomplish? Wait, where's that? Wait, what? Where? Okay, he checked for the gold. I was like, are you Not even Parting's that crazy. Okay, he definitely is, but... For those who don't know much of Stasis, it is a horizontally symmetrical map, which means the players are spawning, well, usually on these type of maps, players spawn near the top corners instead of in opposite corners. I guess they're technically opposite. You get the idea. You can see the you can see the mini map. There are some gold bases in the center, a bunch of choke points, rocks all around the top. It's both an incredible map for air units and a terrible map for air units because there are air blockers that mean you have to pass by certain locations in order to actually get behind a base or around it. It's just everything, take everything you know about StarCraft maps, at least like 90% of the time, and just kind of throw it out. Just take it in the trash. In the trash. One of the most abusive strategies, I guess I'll say, that I've seen and used against Parting, actually. That match will be up soon enough when Parting was playing Terran, is a Tempest Rush. Successfully. Because there's a lot of disgusting locations that Tempest can do damage that they cannot on other maps. But it's not going to be a Tempest Rush out of Parting. And Parting's not up against a Terran. He's got a Twilight Council on the way. soO just got supply blocked on his first Overlord. What? That's a really big mistake. That Overlord should not have died. I guess he was There's a Ling Bane bus coming in, though, so if he just kind of kills Parting... If he kills Parting before Parting can scout this... That's one way to pull this off. He snuck a few Zerglings out around the top. 6 Banelings should be enough to break through the wall. Parting has a Dark Shrine on the way. He has nothing else to defend. He may just die. soO has masked this pretty well. That's 6 Banelings. It appears like Parting is dead. He doesn't know it yet. He does not know it yet. Oh no. Oh wait, he's scouting. Parting. But does he... Oh, he sees the Banes! He sees the Banes! Warp Prism starts! A probe, can it stop this? A Stalker is in the wall? Oh, so close, but not close enough! Almost had the probe on location. He almost scouted for it. But now, the probes have to be pulled to fight. GG. Not enough. A good, finely tuned and refined cheese. I was surprised Parting actually looked for it. He looked for it. He didn't find it quite in time. Well, that was that may have been quicker than the Parasite game with the cannons. So now they've both taken those cheese shots at one another. We've gotten most of the... Well, there's still a couple. The Blue Shift is still on the table, and Automaton. Both of which are maps that could favor early timings, or pressures, or cheeses, or all-ins, or dumb moves, or no-skill plays, or whatever you want to call it to make yourself feel better. Next up is Automaton. That will leave for a potential Game 7. Blue Shift. soO is one match from winning the Masters Coliseum. Really should be Grandmasters Coliseum. These guys are obviously top GM. Anyways. Okay, Jimmy, the game is on. Okay, thank you. soO's in the top right, Parting in the bottom left. Automaton is a bit of an odd map as well. Has a wide wall at the natural, a little bit harder to choke off. And the natural is behind the main somewhat. Meaning the massive main base can be significantly more vulnerable to things like drops, Nidus, stuff like that. It is, I think, the biggest main base in the map pool, That really affects Terran more than anything. The ability to get medevacs in and maybe not be scouted or dealt with easily. But every race has their own options for drops, so. Parting. He's not even sending the probe out. That's a forge. He scouts the base. What? No, you can't still do it. He's not even sending the probe out. The pool, like, it's a hatch first. Pooled it. He didn't go pool first this game. He's waiting. Oh my god. Cybercore is on the way. soO has been very greedy, but he's stuck on the probe. Oh my god, he's gonna do it. There it is! Pylon! 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 Okay, pylon! The probes are dead. Oh wait, no, there's another one! The spine crawler unfortunately was in range, so it takes a lot of damage. The hatch is under fire. He spent a lot of time on the drones trying to stop this. Parting. There's a cannon on the way back at home. He's gonna kill the hatch. He didn't steal the gas, but soO didn't take it. There's a baneling nest on the way. And down goes the hatch. Was it? Oh, the probe with the shield battery. Nope.
What a save!
Well. Can the probe beat the spine crawler with the DPS or with the help of the shield battery to reshield it? Well, it can do that. It's got that going for it. There's a Stargate on the way. A single pylon at the front. A baneling nest. soO, not by choice, but this time by necessity, is forced to go for a baneling bust. One of the most obvious plays, but... Oh. Parting slams a stalker into the wall in front of the cannon. He has set this up correctly. There's an oracle on the way. Uh-oh. I mean, soO sees the stalker, but what are you gonna do? What's the plan? There's no other plan. Parting. The oracle's nearly done. And parting brings us to the ace match. A best of one to decide who the truly colossal master is. The cannon rush counters once again. And Parting took it to heart. He knew the path to victory was not paved with more Protoss, but instead more pylons. Game 7 will be on blue shift. 3-3. Will soO lose another finals? Or will Parting finally crumble? There's been no game that really went particularly long here. No real amount of, like, we haven't really seen a hive. We haven't even seen Storm. So... but Jimmy, come on. All right. Game 7. The final match of the Masters Coliseum. Best of 7. 3-3. Parting and soO. What other words can I say? We're on blue shift. Protoss versus Zerg. I feel like even in the games he won, soO has not been in the driver's seat. Maybe the Baneling bust, but every game has felt like parting. It's either parting strategy works or it doesn't, but only the Baneling bust was soO really taking control of the situation. It's going to be a pull first. He's not risking it again. The cannon rushing is too precise. Parting not even gonna... He's looking for the drones that might be sneaking behind to take the base. He's on top of it. Of course he is. I'd love if he just threw down a spray. We gotta see more spray BM. Canning knows. Cancel. Actually snuck the drone off to the side. Clever moves from soO. Probe gonna be sent right back home. I lied. I just zoned out as soon as I said that. It did not get sent back home. It went back in to scout how many wings were being built. All right. It figured out how many wings were being built, and now we'll take its 5 stolen minerals all the way back to the Nexus. Parting has enough gas. He hasn't opened up with a standard Stargate once in this series. The only Stargates he's built were after cannon rushes or as proxies. But in game number 7, he's going to go back to the standard Protoss playbook. It's going to be a Stargate. Now, does he add any other details? Is it going to be like a Void Ray or something weird? Or just the Oracle Phoenix or vice versa? You never know. I don't feel confident calling anything. This isn't... We're not watching Neeb. Or it's like you put 100 games and Neeb will go Oracle, Phoenix, and like 86 of them. And then it'll go Phoenix, Oracle, and the other 13. And then the last game he will rip out his Ethernet cable and complain about Zerg. Oh, Harding gets out with the Adept. Phoenix on the way, gonna clear out the Overlord, deny some scouting. So, an important feature, or at least fact of certain maps, is how much gas, how much of the natural gas geysers the Overlord can see from the Batman pillar, where it overlooks everything. And on blue shift, it can't see the opposite gas. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean Parting is taking this gas, but he's showing it to the Ovi. It's at a normal timing for Archon drop. Right around 3:30. Does he cancel it? He doesn't have a Twilight on the way, so... No, he's going to mine from it. Looks like it's going to be an Archon drop, and he has no trouble or no qualms about showing that to soO. Twilight starts. He's continuing to mine from the gas. This looks like almost certainly an Archon drop. Wait. A little bit of a weird exchange here, but Parting staying safe with the Adepts. A lair very quickly out of soO. He's got his third base, but it wasn't particularly quick. This is partially for detection against a DT Archon, but a Templar Archives is on the way. Usually when you go Stargate, you don't follow up with a DT Archon, because they kind of trip over each other. Dartrine takes quite a while, as well as Spore Crawlers are usually already out. this is happening. Well, picks up a queen. Does Parting have enough damage to kill the Spore? He does! Calculated. Was it worth losing that much HP on the Oracle? To him it was. The fact there's a Zealot here will almost certainly confirm that Parting is at least trying to show an Archon drop. But at this level of play, just because you know what's coming doesn't make it any less effective. Or at least not significantly less effective. Parting's going to be warping in those Archons in a moment. Get it going. There you go. His Warp Prism Micro was incredible in the previous matches. Just general oh my god! Oh my, okay. If he had saved that Adept, the probe getting in the mix there. Jeez. But does lose a little bit of time on the Archon drop, so I guess a bit of a trade. Maybe right on top, the Creep Tumor immediately implodes to the Psionic Shockwave. Oh, the Roaches boxing out the Queen. Juggles back into the Prism. soO has 55 drones. How many queens on the field? Just 5. Some players will make like 6 or 7 total to be able to shut down the Prism, but that does cost you some potential drones. So Parting, we've been here before. We've been here before. You have a Templar Archives. Well, this game he has a Templar Archive, so maybe Storm in this game. But against enough Roaches, well, just Roaches can be dealt with Immortal Sentry. But Mutas are going to be joining the mix. It feels like soO is kind of trying to preempt the way that Parting has been playing. He's been playing a lot with just the straight-up brute force Immortal, Archon charge lot with some sentries. But this game, Storm is on the way. Parting playing a lot closer to what people would consider standard Protoss in this matchup, considering the circumstances. Now, soO is holding on to gas to be able to get Mutas. He's not banking up gas just because he feels like it or he's a Platinum Leaguer. No. If he's able to get Mutas on the field, shut down the Warp Prism, and keep Parting pinned in his base, that gives him, well, he has total map control then. Double Phoenix Scout. Is it going to pass by the Spire? If Parting sees the Spire, that's huge. Oh. And he does. It's nearly done. A little bit late to scout it, but better late than never. As it's not done yet, he knows exactly when Mutas could be coming out. He has plenty of time to start building Phoenixes. He opened with a Stargate. soO making 8 Mutas, and now does he make drones behind this, or does he make units and try to bash Parting's face in? That'll be the question. He knows that his Spire was scouted. A drone being added. Parting with 4 or 5 Phoenixes. That's the healthy enough number. Plenty of Lings and Roaches coming towards a potential 4th, but Parting not committing to it yet. He has Storm. There's only 1 Templar, though. Oh, the Oracle almost getting sniped. Cannons in each mineral lot. Well, not the natural. Kind of an awkward position. More Mutas on the way. soO is doubling down. The Archons can chase. It's an interesting defense here is the Archon Prism. At least he can box the Mutas out. An Observer's going to spot any army coming towards the southern base location. Parting should be taking a 4th soon here. He doesn't yet have the units to move out reliably until he has enough Phoenixes to deal with these Mutas on their own. Both players gambling a bit. soO is gambling that Parting not going to have the basic defenses for Mutas. Like, sometimes you'll build 3 or 4 Phoenixes, but if soO builds 20 Mutas, you're not going to stop that. Parting still building those Phoenixes up. He's going to have, that's 4 so far and counting. The Muta's still dangerous. Technically, the Phoenixes can outrange them, but that takes a lot of effort. Parting moves up towards the north. soO spots this with a Zergling. The Muta versus Phoenix Micro. Parting has to be very careful here. He's almost losing that critical mass of Phoenixes, dancing back and forth. Muta's being picked off, but Parting losing a lot of his production. He's going to be pushing forward. Behind this, more Mutas out of soO. He's really banking on this. He's leaning on those Mutalists. If he's able to get enough, like at some point the Phoenixes aren't... Well, the Phoenix count really matters here. It really does. How many Phoenixes? He has the 5, loses 1. That pylon very important as well. Another Phoenix goes down. Harding is starting to bleed here. The Archons can't get up over the wall. They're too fat to fit through it. A classic problem. He really didn't expect soO to just continue making all these Mutalisks, but soO continuing to go forward. The Roaches find themselves having a meet and greet with the Immortals and Zealots. They decide they don't want a second date. Despite all this, soO is doing mostly superficial damage. He hasn't really dealt with the main army composition of Parting. The probe count is still healthy. Mutas aren't going to end the game. Storms come through. He's trying to... He storms on top and then pops the Archon. Is Blink done? Blink is not done. He hasn't even started it. More Phoenixes at the front. He's got 3 Phoenixes in the mix. No, those are charge lots. I think he may have just used the Select All Army hotkey. He's in a panic. But Mutas can't win the game on their own. At least not right now. Not while there are still Archons and Templar, but soO is really leaning on him. Harding has taken the base up to the north. He's thrown some cannons onto it. All it takes is a couple Archon shots. Those psionic shockwaves do approximately 5,000 damage to the Mutas. The fleet beacon is done. He can go for Phoenix range. The Stalker is being ground through by the Glaives. The Phoenix count is at 5, but the Muta count at many times that. 29 Mutas. Harding. More Stalkers being warped in. He's trying to buy time, but for what? Spine Crawlers will backstop the defense. How many Immortals on the field? There are 5 Immortals with the main army. soO is picking Parting apart. The main base is almost entirely depowered. The brunt of the Protoss army is at the front. He has to go. The Spine Crawlers aren't going to stop this on their own. The Cyber Core is targeted down. Parting is at 100 supply! I don't know what that means, but he's not happy about it. I can't imagine he's happy with this scenario. soO is up. The army supply, well, this is an incredibly scary army. Not great for Parting. I can't imagine that was a positive comment. But he's put together a fortress at his 3rd. So has soO at his 4th. The Immortals trying to work their way through. Storms do nothing to Spine Crawlers. The Spine's removing a lot of the last anti-air. soO, while Parting's working his way through. His base, wow, the Spines are gone. There's still some Templar. Parting has a dream. There are cannons and Templar. While you have cannons and Templar, soO has 39 Mutas! But where's the ground army? It's gonna pass by the 3rd. There are some cannons there. Can he magic box on this? There are storms. He doesn't have... Oh, the storms. A few baited out. The base is vulnerable. He's splitting the Mutas. 41! The base evaporates. He's trying to get on top of it. The storms! The storms! He's doing whatever he can! The Archons will melt! What is left? What is love? GG! soO takes it all the way home. And Parting will crumble. The commitment to the Mutalisks is enough. And soO actually wins something. Now, he's won plenty of... But he gambled. Continuing to make Mutas was a pretty huge gamble. That Parting hadn't added on some extra Stargates. He hadn't, like, been rushing out Phoenix range. But it paid off. Parting was like, okay, now you're going to tech switch. Now you're going to tech switch. Now you're going to tech... No. More Mutas. Very risky. But it pays off. He wins it 4-3. Just barely. Congratulations. Thank you to Wardy for sending out those replays. The Master's Coliseum, or the Grand Master of the Coliseum, will be soO. A pretty fun series, for sure. A wide spread of builds. I hope you guys enjoyed my breakdown of it. And if you did, of course, Make sure to like, subscribe, ring the bell, put a comment saying, I think Protoss is easy, and the only reason Parting won 3 games is because Cannon Rush is Imba, and start a very productive conversation in YouTube comments or in Twitch chat. I'm sure it's great. But I hope you enjoyed that. Congratulations, Sue.